Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. I am your GM for the evening, The Bardic Knock. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, all as The Bardic Knock. We are going to be carrying on with session 4 of our Shaman King tabletop role-playing game, Bear Ridge Beat, using the Animon story system. I will allow my lovely, wonderful, beautiful human being players introduce themselves, and then I will attempt to give a brief recap, and we will figure out what we're doing, because I wanted to sit down and make notes for vague plans, but then I realized I left it really open-ended, so I can't really make plans until I know what we want to do. So, with that, lovely, wonderful, beautiful human beings, if you would like to introduce yourself, can I get JT to go first, because you're right there.
Hey, hooray to me being right there. Hi, I am JT or Epic Impulse. I believe my co-host is active now. I just need to start using it. I haven't checked. I'm also on Hive, but I don't know. I feel like that one's kind of just, yeah. Good luck. And I am at Brownest Nerd on Twitter, which is still a sinking yet engaging ship. Elon, please don't send Pinkertons to my house for saying that. I could not sneak that. I couldn't avoid sneaking that one in. I'm sorry.
Let's fully let the world know, the history know that at this exact moment, the Pinkertons existing and still doing terrible, terrible things is very currently relevant in the tabletop role-playing game space.
Yeah. But also in various spaces that you consume and support your unions and your libraries. What else? Yeah, I'm not doing anything by much in the public space, but in the private space, I am asking myself the deep question: how do you play city planning district with a city that already exists? Which, by the way, city planning district, fun little game. If you ever need to just build a city, just go to town with it. It's some interesting stuff. I didn't even realize the pun I made there. Let me actually pull up who made it so I can tell people where to go, like a smart person. It is made by. Wow. Okay. Is there not a name in the cover? Sorry. 1 second. Where did I put this? Well, okay. Doesn't have a name listed on the cover. Might be in the pages, but for the sake of time, I'm going to say it is at kaelandm.itch.io. City Planning Department, fun little pay what you want game, guaranteed to help you build a city. And I'm trying to figure out how to do that with a city that exists in the fiction of our world, but also let my players play with it and modify it. So that's my crisis. And now I'm going to go over to Murder Hobbit.
Other way.
Murder Hobbit.
There we go.
Yay. Hello, I am Jamie. Sometimes Murder Hobbit if I'm on like Xbox or Discord or something. I'm JKelsey6892 on Twitter. I do nothing fun. I do a lot of fun stuff, but nothing for public consumption. Because I don't post my life a lot.
Are you suggesting you're a healthy human being and have boundaries on what you share on the internet?
Sure, we'll go with that one, and not that I work and then every weekend I'm doing something out of town for the next month and a week, and I'm going to be perpetually exhausted. Yes, that one. I don't really sell stuff. I read comics and post about the comics every once in a while. And that's my Twitter. And yeah, I'm going to hand it over to Sahoni that way.
Hi, I'm Sahoni. You can find me on Twitter at Sahoni_stuff. That's SAHONI_stuff. Where I not only do this, but I do game design and radio programs like Barking Points Memo. You can find my shop at bramblewolfgames.itch.io. That's BRAMBLE Wolf WOLF Games GAMES .itch.io. Where you can find my game Exceptionals, which is inspired by X-Men and about the communities and spaces that marginalized folk make for themselves, as well as the different lenses which we view the mutant metaphor. You can also find me on Tumblr at Sahoni the Reed Wolf. That can be read as Red Wolf, but since I am in an audio format, I'm gonna say it Reed. So that would be Sahoni, SAHONI, the Reed, READ, Wolf, on Tumblr, where you can see kind of all the game stuff that I'm doing, and also see me get really uppity about politics. I have a bunch of games and prose and things and essays and things under NDAs that I'm working on as well, and you'll see those announced on both of those platforms. But I'm passing on. Not to the afterlife, just to the next person.
And we'll see how the session goes.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Hopefully
TPK session.
That was great.
Look,
That was a great one. I'm Netta. My pronouns are there. They, them. My Twitter handle is there. Trans_father. And don't have anything going. I have no games going on. No writing projects to announce. I'm just happy to be here and be a little nonverbal guy. So that's a heavy slash sarcasm, but that's pretty much. I feel like, man, I got nothing to show. I'm just, except for me, I'm showing up. That's what I'm doing.
Look, if you wanna get a nice big hit of dopamine and ego stroke, there is an immense amount of power a person can hold in being non-verbal at any given moment, and their presence still being palpable. Like, I know when you're here. I get it. I feel you. I see what you're doing. It's like, yeah, you don't have to use words. Being here is presence and participating and adding value and camaraderie and all those good words. So, use as many words as you damn well please.
Or possibly as few.
I like uplifting people, especially when they're lovely people and they deserve it. Like, all of these people here are wonderful. Give them attention. If they ask for it, don't, like, pest them or anything.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mostly just, like, random retweets. I don't do much on social media yet.
Okay, so Bear Ridge Beats, attempting to recap last time. Last time was very much a downtime session when, where everyone was, it was kind of like a prolonged training montage of what are you doing in all this downtime whilst you're still doing your after-school training with Mr. Nurks. And, we had Kanal go and interact with an incredibly aggressive hippie ghost, which, okay, some stuff's been laid down. Man. So Kanal is kind of pushing and teasing with the idea of anarchy and then maybe the moral implications of enacting justice versus versus vengeance. So it's like, that's an interesting little moral dilemma to chew on. Greg had a really lovely conversation with the spirit of an elder, which was very pleasant and helping Greg come more to terms of, okay, so I need to find the people and talk to them, and they will help me help them, and we'll all grow and work together. Yeah, you just gotta have confidence, gotta get out there and do the things.
Greg confident? Oh no.
Ooh, but a little bit of a big ask at times, but you can have a quiet confidence in here, in your heart. I was just about to have a mild panic. Wait, is that the right side? Did I do the heart on the wrong thing? No, that's correct. I'm not entirely incompetent, just mildly. Oh gosh, my memory is totally failing me. What did Thomas do last time? And we did stuff. Thomas most assertedly did a thing.
Aside from yell at hippie anarchy ghost, hold on.
So Holy, do you remember
Thomas
what
was
Thomas did?
checking in. From what I recall, Thomas was checking in on the other, quote-unquote party members, is what. Making sure we were up to decent things and not struggling with man-made horrors beyond our comprehension.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
And some of us did less well than others, admittedly, only slightly.
And then we had...
I mean, that's why you have the support network in the first place.
And then we had the absolute wonderful, lovely cinnamon roll of Sable, who she was just having a good time.
Learning to ride my own horse and hanging out with Greg's horses.
Yeah. Living the dream, one could argue.
Sorry. The intrusive thought of that one version of Jingle Bells where they don't have the altos to do anything but chant horses, 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 is just keeps barging into my head anytime talks about horses recently.
The what?
Yeah. There. Okay, so Jingle Bells is a song. I have a theory about Jingle Bells.
Okay, I need to hear this.
Yeah, Jingle Bells is a holiday song that choral directors hate because it is made to be kind of goof-proof. It is made to be sung by children and people off their ass on eggnog. It is not a very musically interesting song. There is not a lot going on there. So a lot of choral directors try to add something. They try to add some spice to it. And there's a very famous version of Jingle Bells where part of how they do this is that they just have all the altos and the chorus go horses, 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 which gets stuck in my head a lot. I don't have an answer to why my brain chooses these specific things. They just do.
That's not the question I have about this entire thing. Like, I'm pretty sure if I booted this up and listened to it, I would have it stuck in my head, and I would just start randomly going horses, horses,
horses, horses, horses. Yeah, it was very famously featured in I believe in
It's Sleepless in Seattle.
Seattle. Yeah, Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna try and not allow myself to get too distracted because it's very easy to.
Uh-huh.
As like,
Yeah, there it is.
as a trained singer, and I used to do a lot of barbershop and not real composition because that involves writing and notating, but I would self-compose lots of things. There's a lot of songs that are really hard to do because there's not a lot in them. It's like, well, I need to write harmonies because that's the whole point of having these different sections. It's like, if you aren't going to write a harmony, well, then there's no point in there being then it's just a chorus. And fine, people maybe at different pitches, normally just down the octave or down a fifth or whatever. It's like, or up, and it's not very musically interesting.
As
Jingle Bells
a person,
has
yeah,
no interest in it. It's why. It's why. No.
I think the
groups,
reason. Yeah, I think the reason why it sticks with me specifically is that I was typed as an alto after puberty, after being a soprano for so long. So I went from having like all the parts to just none of the parts. I became the tuba of the chorus. Just horses, 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 horses. That's my lot in life. Just saying increasingly with increasing aggression. Horses, 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 horses.
So as I didn't get into singing until after puberty, so I never had to go through the the voice change. But I started out as like, you are a bass, and then I've had to train myself up. But so like large amounts of my chorus stuff. Bear in mind, the school I went to, from 16 to 18, where I did a lot of my training, we had to go to chapel 3 times a week, and the vast majority of the stuff for the basses, and bear in mind, this is a tiny school, maybe 300, 400 people at the school in total, and the choir had maybe 30 people in, which meant there was maybe 5 of us who were basses. Huge amounts of what we had to do with this.
I take it back. You're the tuba.
Just that was like the vast majority of what we did. It's like, wow. Ooh, these are not fun compositions.
I was about to say, because in college, when a friend did chorus, similarly, he had to do a chapel performance. I forget the title of the piece itself, but it was like this animal-themed chorus piece.
Mm-hmm.
So you would literally just see a bunch of, like, the bass section just go moo in, like, varying bass forms. And we'd listen to this man practice and just have to compose, like, because a lot of us were good at studying in noisy environments. We just, or became that way so we could sit with each other and study. So I'd be literally doing, like, calculus, and this guy's mooing.
Hey, listen, Minotaur should have access to the arts too.
No, I'm not denying that, but literally it became like just I would randomly, instead of getting music stuck in my head for that period, I had moos. Oh, okay, musical mooing stuck in my head.
Just the idea of you sat there and I go, okay, so dVu over dVx is the integral, and just in the background going, moo.
Well, yeah, this is what happens when you go to college for engineering and only like 6 people in your major.
So yeah, long story short, a lot of musical notation and writing of harmonies, unless it was originally written to include that, they're really bad. And so people work their ass off to create versions that kind of fit, but they need to make it varied enough so there's a point, and that's how you end up with the horses.
Yeah.
Speaking of horses, Sable, how are your horse? How are Sable's horse adventures?
Yeah.
I don't know if
Scale
I
the 1
put-
to Barbie.
She's having a hard time with brushing Marion's hair for obvious ghost reasons. But other than that, it's pretty much no problems. Like the fact that Marion just has a lot of teeth right now is like not something that she's concerned about, but she's definitely like, wow, I didn't know that I'd be brushing this many. Like it's not what that's not what my anatomical horse coloring book would tell me about, what's real about horses versus what's fake, because you're a real horse. But just a silly goofy time.
I'm a real horse.
So,
Biblically accurate horse.
you know what? I think it's safe to say I know what the title of this session is going to be on YouTube. It's just
Horseplay?
It's just going to be horses.
Jingle bells don't sue.
Jingle bells is in the public domain.
Oh
Dude.
yeah, we can make all the jingle bells.
We could
add
stop-
all the horses we want.
We
We
could
could sing it right now.
Yeah, we
It'd
could
be
stop
fun.
what we're doing, and we could like compose an entire Jingle Bells ensemble right now if we so wished, and that be the entire session. But
I don't.
I'm getting a clear sign
add it to the-
from Jamie that
I'll
that
add
no.
it to the game ideas list.
Yeah, on the list. That's how we save Bear Ridge.
All right, here's what we're gonna do.
These things are
Our
good
plan
off.
to foil Elmer Husk is we're gonna pose as carol singers.
Yes. Speaking of foiling Elmer Husk,
Thank you.
are we planning on stopping construction or participating in mock AR battles or destroying from within options, many of them?
So yes.
Ignoring the whole thing completely, just doing other things.
So
I think we're in like Mr. Nurks's route, like somewhere with Mr. Nurks strategizing, or have we found Mr. Nurks after that announcement, or is that like step one?
I mean, the exact time frame of it, I can't recall. Because I remember you vaguely went and had a little chit chat with Mr. Nurks, who was like, "Oh yeah, yikes, there's some stuff going on. I'll go." And then there was the big announcement. I can't remember if much time had gone, or if you'd literally all stepped outside of the 1980s built, 1950s inspired diner. Because that was a thing, apparently.
Yeah.
Our desire.
So, yes, to recap as succinctly as possible, obviously Elmer Husk has made his large-scale announcement about what his plan is, and essentially he is turning Bear Ridge into essentially a giant sporting arena, or a tourist town around a giant sporting arena for his brand new state-of-the-art sports entertainment. I can't remember if he gave it a name. I don't think he did. It would have a really terrible name. I don't know. Like something that sounds like it's meant to be a little bit smart, but in reality you go, that doesn't mean anything. So we'll workshop a name. Right now it's just been announced.
How about like Ghost Theater? Like Gladiator but with ghosts. And everyone's just like, that's so lame.
Well,
But like
here's the thing.
He doesn't say they're ghosts.
Yeah, Elmer Husk isn't revealing their spirits. They're
right.
they're AR. They're like virtual reality AR construction. So it would probably
Light
be like
fighters.
Light
No.
fighter.
I think
Wait.
I-
Worst idea. He bought the name Virtua Fighter for some reason, and is or he's just using the name Virtua Fighter for some reason.
You know what? I would 100% believe someone like Elmer Husk would buy out the entire copyright to Virtua Fighter.
I feel like that was very much kind of close to what I was going to suggest, which I was going to suggest he doesn't really have any original ideas. He would just name it very close to something else, but change a letter and claim it was his. So, like, him naming it Virtua Fighter, or I was trying to, remember the name of this one 80s toy line thing where they had, holographic stickers. Like Vision Fighters or something.
I mean, a big part of me is very tempted for him to have called it Mortal Kombat, but combat spelled with a C.
Just spelled with a normal C.
Actually, I thought of a terrible name.
Go.
Kind of kicks it. Battle Arena, but he capitalizes the AR in Arena to emphasize its
that's
AR.
awful. I hate it. I love it.
He called it Metabots.
Battle Bites.
Bite spelled with a Y.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
it would just be Bite, but with the Y is capitalized, but all the other things are lowercase.
And he put a C at the end for some reason because he thinks
you know what? I think currently, since all of these names are really good, in universe, there isn't an official name. It's the newest, greatest sports entertainment, and it hasn't been given a name. It's just being advertised as this thing. And
Husk Sports.
In Elmer Husk's office or in the boardroom, there is this list of terrible names. All of them are potential options. And so, depending on certain actions or if anything occurs and people get influenced, that'll decide which name gets chosen. But these are all potentials. And all the ones that aren't used, they are definitely going to be recycled and used for the pay-per-view events. So, very distracted by things. So yes, this big, brand new, special, high-tech, highly monetizable entertainment complex and franchise is being created. It's going to take place here in Bear Ridge. That's going to be the home of it, and that is what Elmer Husk has been purchasing land and setting up for. Obviously, you all know that there is nothing of the sort. There's no special technology. He is just exploiting people with actual skills, being shamans. There's, if anyone wishes to draw a metaphor or some kind of correlation there, feel free. Billionaire using the skill sets of other people and claiming to be their own.
Never seen that one before.
I think that's maybe a bit too. That's too.
I think it's a novel idea. I applaud your complete just world building creativity. Can just give a completely new concept.
Yeah, it's a pretty out there. It's almost cartoonish in its see-through villainy. It's very much like a Captain Planet villain.
Yeah, that might be why it's never been used before, or it's not portrayed in reality, because it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah. Sorry, just sometimes tweets get in my brain. Someone pointed out, back in the 80s, there were pollution villains, in Captain Planet, literally called Mr. Pollution or, whatever. And they'd just twiddle their mustache and go, I'm going to poison the river supply because I feel like it. It's yeah, and in the 80s, we thought that's silly. No one would do that. And now they literally just are.
I mean, let's not forget about Cat and Pollution, who is made from super radiation, deforestation, smog, toxic, and hate.
God. safe to say that like Captain Planet probably has some it is probably like safely one of the queerest villain or superhero outfits out there. Like I feel like that's a safe call. It's a crop top, booty shorts and go-go boots, and a mullet.
All in a bright
Pretty clear.
neon color scheme.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, that is...
I'm good. I mean, he pulled it off. Good on him.
Man had the dyed hair and the pronouns before we even thought about those things.
Green hair and pronouns, man. What a concept.
Right? What if we all have just been copying Captain Planet?
I mean, so
The power
I don't
is
think so.
no.
No.
The power is yours.
Yeah, the power is yours.
Insert Alex Jones-esque rant that's like the power is yours was TV propaganda to make us all gay.
which
Is it not?
oh god, I can't remember who was the terrible media mogul who basically funded Captain Planet.
Ted Turner.
Yeah, it's like the AOL guy. It's like, yeah, the fact that there's fucking I don't know if he was a billionaire, but probably. You know, one of the richest motherfuckers on the planet going, save the planet, children. It's like, you do it. You have the money.
It's putting on the onus on the individual instead of the person actually doing the things, but at the same time, maybe it was also him telling on all of his country club friends, like, y'all see this shit?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Any hoozles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Strategy meeting. I guess we are strategy meeting to figure out what to do about
So
battle. Fights.
exactly. You have just seen this. You got the secret shaman only message, basically saying this is happening. You can't do jack about it. By the way, preliminary recruitments are occurring. So if you want to show up and give some auditions, that's fine by me. Peace out. I'm Elmer Husk. We've got to go log on to my alternate Twitter account, which is incredibly problematic.
I'm off to go age play my son.
Oh,
Just more and more that you can use to roleplay for this guy that's being live released right now.
Like,
Ooh, material. New material.
look, I couldn't write anymore. It's fucking whack.
I'm surprised the Onion writers still have things to write about at this point.
I mean, The Onion predicted it as the new Simpsons did it.
Yeah. Before we go on any more tangents, I think Kunal will look at this and he's like, all right, so the answer is we unionize the shamans.
How do we do that? We're not old enough to work.
And that's
Don't tell
part
my
of,
dad that.
and that's going to be part of our demands when we make a union and we protest. So first step, find the adults. Points to Mr. X.
So technically, it's not a union per se. It's more of an organization because shamans, for the most part, are freelance. But there is the ISC is like a proto union. It's okay. Here is a bunch of workplace guidelines for freelance shamaning. The reason it can't really be classified as a union is because there's a little bit too much freedom in the specifics of various forms of shaman employment. Because it's kind of hard to unionize people who, maybe act as assassins or, spies or whatever other things shamans may do. It's hard to unionize that. But it's as close as you can get to a union whilst retaining this level of freedom of employment, I guess.
So is the shaman boss people gonna let this happen?
I mean, Elmer Husk, he basically threatened the ISC in the
Right.
little video,
I saw that video.
yeah,
Yeah.
he essentially said, yeah, you can't do dick, because if you do, I'm gonna out you to the various world governments and go suck eggs.
So it means we can't rely on telling every shaman not to participate in this thing.
I'm sure you could, because once again, you are officially recognized as shaman. You passed your training course. You've got your shaman license. It's not a real thing, but you have your conceptual shaman license, which means technically you are as respected and as valid as any other shaman out there.
Yeah, but we're the new kids.
Yeah, so it might be hard to get. Yeah, you might not have the credentials, but you have the qualifications. So if you could run a charismatic enough campaign, if you could recruit enough big names to your cause, you could entirely run this from a political perspective of going, well, what if we just unionized? What if we, did solidify some more of these rules of the ISC and, loosened up this and changed that, and when instead of being a collective became an actual union, and maybe change how some of the rules work, where every 500 years whoever wins the slap fight gets to become god. Maybe change that one a little bit.
Huh. Duly noted. But that sounds like it's going to take a lot of time, and I don't know how much time we have. We don't have that much time until this thing starts.
No. I can't remember if I gave an exact time frame, but I want to say you probably have grand total maybe a month before the grand opening, or at least the first releases of this goes public.
In character, Knall's going to be like, can we unionize in a month?
I don't think that's possible. Let alone trying to navigate the vast amount of cultural and difference in needs of everyone. I think our best policy is probably going to be to win.
Oh.
What do we do after winning?
Well, I say while we're doing the winning, that's when we do how we do the organizing. If I was going to be strategic about this.
So, if we want to quantify where Thomas's vote goes, Thomas is voting for violence and talk no jutsu.
I am leaning into the anime character that I am.
I mean, I don't know what to do, but I feel like having the spirits fight, even if we're like on the inside, I feel like it's like really cruddy for the spirits to have to go.
Well, obviously we talk about who I don't want to make anyone do anything they don't have to. They don't have to or want to, and that includes spirits.
Right.
Even with the big shaman quote unquote slap fight that happens every 500 years, it's only for people who want to participate.
Right.
I just want to make sure everyone has a chance to be themselves, I guess. And I don't think under this guy's thumb is that's going to be a thing that's viable.
So we gotta cut this guy's thumb off.
That's my thought. Metaphorically. I just think that if we have, in my experience, bullies don't stop until you give them a reason to.
That's true. It's kind of what happened with Frederick.
So,
Frederick? Whatever his name was.
Yeah. But I mean, bullies aren't often possessed by ghosts of old prospectors.
True.
But plus, if I guess this tournament would be a cool way to train our powers.
if we're going to get people to work together, we're going to need a way to get our word out. And a big televised event like this just seems smart. Or an easy way to do it.
I'm just
I
wondering
guess.
how televising this works. Aren't we the only ones who can see this stuff?
Well, we're the people that need to see it.
And he did have a spirit on camera that the way he was gesturing, it looked like everyone could see it. It was a cute little imp guy.
So it means there might be some spirits in on this who want this guy to succeed.
He didn't look happy. Or the spirit did not look happy.
So, if I was to try and summarize the thought patterns and the questions you're raising, you would like to try and understand how all of this is working, and then figure out if there's a way to use that to your advantage.
I think very much the strategy that that Thomas is suggesting, at least, is while we are at least making the show of playing along and trying to use that as publicity, we organize and push for something better behind the scenes.
I like that. Because the thing is, conceptually, the idea isn't inherently a terrible concept. It's a legitimate means in which Shaman could work and earn money, and even maybe use it as a platform to whatever, either promote themselves to other shaman for work, or just to earn money in the public sphere using their inherent
and
skill
if we want allies, there's worse places to find other shamans.
True.
You're right. Every shaman. Well, maybe not every shaman in the area, but we definitely get enough shamans who are probably trying it for the money or something.
One thing I did also point out last time is the last week or so, there has been an influx of seemingly out of season tourists. There's been a few more people arriving into town. Obviously, there's been a lot more construction and all that stuff occurring, but there's also just a few more people in and around town who clearly are not locals and aren't really the standard type of tourist one would expect. You live in a fairly idyllic mountainside town. You're very used to getting lots of very privileged looking upper middle class white people coming to look at the snow. The tourists that have been showing up are a lot more varied, and not exactly looking as if they've come dressed for a wonderful ski vacation. So you could probably assume either the dress code for various employees that are working officers at Husk Enterprises is super relaxed, or maybe some of these slightly out there looking characters could be people, could be other shamans looking to get first in line.
I think they it'd be reasonable. It'd be reasonable for our group to put this together, right? Like put 2 and 2 together and go, those strange tourists must be people who've seen this announcement before,
yeah,
or some form of hype. Huh. So that
you could most definitely assume either these are people who were directly contacted before this announcement, or have gotten here very quickly after the announcement. I mean, you have a vague understanding that shaman abilities come in many different shapes and sizes, and surely that means some people can just get around a lot easier than others. Or, of course, there are people who might have already been contacted by Husk. Husk already knew about shamans and probably dug out some people and went, you. So, there'll be a variety of people, but it does mean that just littered around town, if you went looking for them, you could probably find a wide and varied cast of interesting shaman characters with whom to interact.
Huh. Trying to think of... Yeah, I think character-wise, I think Kunal would think through this and say, I guess our only bet then until this thing starts is to practice for it, and then maybe we'll find competitors that might hate this situation or convince people to hate this situation.
Yeah. I mean, definitely in character, Greg does not know what to do, and you basically go with what others decide, because he's just not sure.
Yeah. Obviously, Sable, you're a delightful, small, innocent, lovely, wonderful child. Do you have any input on what's going on again?
Her conception of good versus evil is being slowly shattered and remade, but in trying to think of what her character would do, I feel like she would definitely want to practice, or she'd go for participating is probably the best way to get in, but in looking for like the truth behind the situation, she probably would want to like look for like the different types of shaman who are now coming in with like maybe wiser advice or something like that. But she would probably believe that doing well in the televised event and then saying something like speaking her mind would be enough to do something as her somewhat childish brain would hope to believe. So
Okay. There's some very sound logic in all of that. So, as a group, is obviously the video didn't have loads of information, but there was enough in there to go, okay, so clearly pre-registration is occurring. I don't know if that's a specific time and day, or you just kind of show up and put your name down. So there's that as an option. You can go and try and find whether pre-registration is occurring. Or you could go and explore town and see if you can come across any of these strange and interesting people. Or, of course, the option exists of go and find an adult. Mr. Nurks, or in some case, I know Kunal wouldn't do it, but obviously, Kunal's family, they might be someone to go, hey, there's some shaman stuff occurring. What do we do? Or of course, you could even go and try and find the ISC and go, hey, got a concern. So there's a couple of options there if you want to go down this. Well, yeah, we can put our names in and maybe try and do something, because someone has to do something. And so,
Kunal's first answer is Mr. Nurks, because of all the adults, Mr. Nurks has been like the most helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think the only helpful Kunal adult for Kunal. I almost said the only helpful Kunal. The only helpful adult to Kunal in this scenario is Mr. Nurks. Maybe attempt to awkwardly poke his brother about it later.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know if that is a priority if people want to do that, or if you want to go, oh, actually, I'm confident. We beat Mr. Nooks in a fight, and we totally sold a ghost. We could totally go and do it. Like, how strong and varied can other shaman be in reality? I mean, we're teenagers. We're clearly the most capable people around.
Obviously.
So,
Yeah, obviously.
No, this isn't to say that Kunal isn't thinking like, well, I guess I'm trying to figure out what Kunal thinks of all this, because it is delving deeper into the whole. You know what? Yeah, I think Kunal is going to be like thinking like in that mindset of like only we could do something about it, but also Mr. Nurks, what's the move?
Would Kunal make those thoughts known and shared to the group?
Well, I'm sure the four of us could definitely take on anyone. I mean, like,
Yeah, we punched a bear together.
yeah, we took on a prospector's ghost. How much harder can like anyone else be? But also, maybe we should. I mean, come on, we beat up Mr. Nerds, and he was like the strongest shaman we ever faced.
I mean, I don't want to fight Rabbit Killer. Pretty sure Rabbit Killer could like destroy
No,
all
I
of
don't
us.
want
I'm
to.
not gonna lie.
I don't want to fight
Yeah,
y'all
fight,
with
not
him
like-
either.
Yeah.
And I know he doesn't want to fight you either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm confident in Kier's abilities, but the less people we have to fight, the better.
Yes.
So the four of us should make some kind of group for this thing.
Three of us. We're not. I don't want to speak for Sable, but personally, I would prefer Sable not be in some sort of a weird televised gladiatorial battle. She's like 9.
I'm 11.
She's like 11. Sorry.
But I did.
You
Well-
did great, but like, I don't know, like,
Well, wouldn't it be weird if there wasn't an age requirement and I was allowed to be in there anyway?
that'd be super weird.
That'd be so fucked up.
Kinda means I should go.
I mean, that is also something to consider. Like, there was, you don't know if there was no mention of age restrictions or anything because it's just an assumed thing, or with this being an entirely unmonitored form of labor, they're going, child labor laws don't apply here.
I feel
It could be
like
to
I feel
raise awareness.
Tiomi, or sorry, wrong character. I feel like Thomas is probably like the one person in this group who's just like, yeah, Sable can handle themselves. They're pretty good at what they do.
Right. And to Sable's point, technically, according to everyone else in the world, she's just acting. And the AR fights are just going on, and she's just a good actor.
But
So-
also, like, Sable has a point. Is this just one giant child labor violation?
Like, are child actors child labor violations?
Well, they have laws and protections, I think. I mean,
I don't know, actually.
me neither.
Ooh, there is some janky ass laws around the child
Yeah.
performing.
Yeah.
Out of character, I know there's some shit. In character, I don't think Kunal's looked up child actors
Laws.
and what happens.
Yeah, it's look.
I guess I'll deep dive that tonight when I'm not doing homework. But
Mhm.
speaking of which, Greg, can I get the answers to the math homework when you're done?
Thomas, can you get us the answers to the math homework?
What? I used to think I did it. He totally
Fuck.
did it.
Got it? Okay.
Oh wait, Sable, pretend you never heard that. Do your homework on your own.
I mean, I don't have your math subject class
So,
because
don't-
yeah. Oh, that's okay. I mean, I thought teamwork was a good thing, but
I mean,
Teamwork is the dream work.
teamwork. Teamwork is good, but copying someone else's work completely without understanding it is bad. So do as I say, not as I do.
okay. Pause. Okay, I understood what you meant by that. Okay.
Anyways.
So,
I'm
anyways,
just thinking, like, if Sable is uncomfortable with fighting, I mean, she's very good. I mean, you're small, and Marion is like spooky. Like,
She's
you could be
fine.
sneaky. You could be sneaky. If someone needs to smash an AR projector, I'm pretty sure Marion could smash something.
Yeah, I believe in her. In my her little fledgling form, Marion does not look sure of herself. She looks so afraid of the possibility that
Of
she's hiding
smashing
behind my
things.
shoulder. Yeah, I know you can do it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, Kunal kind of looks at Kier's fledgling little wisp and is like, I mean, Kier would come in handy for working behind the scenes, but
I'm not very good at talking to people.
Yeah. Also, Alling's a glowing butterfly. Not very sneaky, if need be.
Kunal looks at his phone and realizes he might have to be the face of the group. Curse me and my camera skills.
I mean, if we need to talk to, like, spirits, I can do that. Spirits are easy. I mean, they're kind of scary, but, like scary as in, like, intimidating. But,
I'm
I don't know,
gonna
I find it
be-
easier.
I'm gonna be honest. You're probably a lot better at getting people to want to be nice than I would be.
I guess that's true. Most people are pretty nice to me.
Well, what do you mean by that, Thomas?
Like he just grumbles and just kind of like slowly rotates away from the group.
I don't get it. You're so nice.
Would this be the moment where in order to not have to process the compliment, Thomas goes,
Yeah.
"So hey, maybe we should go find out where this pre-registration takes place."
Yeah, that's exactly what he's just like. I got things to do.
I mean, I
Okay.
guess the best way to find
proceeds
answers
to
is
vibrate through a wall.
Wow, how do you do that?
Not in a literal sense, but just kind of
Gets
so
complimented,
flustered.
immediately flees the scene.
Yeah,
phrases
exactly.
away.
Yeah.
Gone.
Much like the wolf he's partnered with, if you spot them, they'll disappear between the trees.
Full on Homer Simpson into the shrubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good point. The best way to get answers is to ask questions.
Okay.
So, we could go sign up and see if we could be like, "Hi, we're kids.
So,
Can we sign up?"
with that, would anyone like to roll a challenge to see if they could deduce, or however you want to, either maybe ask around or listen in, maybe find some shaman-esque looking people listening to a conversation, or you just go and ask them, like however it is you would like to try and ascertain the information. Obviously that's entirely up to you. You can do it in your own way. You can use one of the suggestions.
Sure. I feel like this would be a very good opportunity for Thomas to kind of eavesdrop on people.
Okay.
I feel like this is kind of something he's very good at. Or I feel like this is very much kind of a detect things sort of situation. So eavesdropping, kind of maybe like getting glances at like clipboards and stuff, or tablets or what have you. Just I want to use his sharp senses, or Rabbit Killer's sharp senses, to see if together they can work together and find something.
Okay. So, it doesn't really matter where exactly in town, because there is enough of a presence of clearly people who aren't from here that you could pretty much go anywhere and maybe find one or two of them. So the setting is entirely up to you as a collective. Are you wanting to go to like the small outlet mall? Are you wanting to, go hang around in like the town center? Like, where would be an interesting place, like setting for you to go and try and keep an eye out on suspicious looking out of towners, like the true Americans you are?
Oh, I want to say a hotel lobby.
Okay, yeah. So, obviously, there's not really any like large scale hotels. Most of but there will be a few. There's not going to be like a Four Seasons or anything like that, because most of the highest end vacation properties here, they're like full on rental, like chalets and villas and whatnot. But there will be one hotel that's somewhat prolific. So yeah, if you go there, it's not swarming. There's a few normal people you would suspect to be here, out of town business people, some wealthy young adults who are clearly taking a gap year from their higher education, who are going, yeah, you know what, be really cool, let's drive across America. Those kind of terrible people who think that's cultured. I don't have opinions.
What?
So yeah, there's enough people, and then there's a few who like, okay, I can't immediately figure out what your deal is. Maybe there's something to be paying attention to here. So, Thomas, would you and / or Rabbit Killer like to roll a challenge to, however it is you want to do? If you want to try and eavesdrop or try and peer over their shoulders, catch a glimpse of their phone.
I feel like they're working together more than anything. Like I feel like they're trying to at least like position themselves in different parts to see if they can pick up anything. How would I kind of handle that, I guess?
Well, that is basically entirely up to you. If you look at the options you can roll for a test, you can go, yeah, I think I'd like to roll this, and I will justify it this way.
Okay.
Your
Yeah.
call there.
Yeah, because I think they're trying to they're working together on this as partners do, and I feel like using Thomas's logic and maybe Rabbit Killer's sharp senses would cover that.
Yeah, I think that would definitely. I think that could most definitely give you.
I guess the question is, do I roll them separately or together?
I would say roll them together, yeah. Let's see how successful you can be here.
Okay. That is a total of 3 successes out of 6.
3 successes most definitely passes. So the most obvious person, just because you know what, you're fairly certain they would stand out almost anywhere, is this incredibly tall, easily 6'6", 6'7" looking guy, incredibly skinny, very slender, very gaunt features, very white, very pale. There's white, and there's you lived on top of a European mountain white.
So just slider to FFFFFF.
Exactly. And this guy, as I said, incredibly tall, but not in an intimidating way, more in a slightly concerning way, because they are wearing what shouldn't really be oversized, but it seems to hang off their body, almost disturbingly so. This deep red plaid shirt that clearly, aside from their shoulders, it does not look like that fabric is touching their skin at all. It's almost as if there's a clothes hanger and nothing underneath it. At least that's how it appears, because they are just that skinny. Their hair is not just platinum blonde, but it is so blonde it is almost white. And in their face, their eyes are sunken in, but piercingly blue, almost ethereal. It's not quite real. And on their head, they have a slightly... I know it's a beanie, but I don't know if there's a specific term for it. You know those beanies that are slightly elongated and oversized? He's wearing one of them, and that is a bright red. As he has stood there, holding his phone the only way I can describe it, he is holding his phone the way L from Death Note would hold a phone. So, holding it like that, in front of his face, scrolling down... scrolling down with a single spindly finger, eyes unblinking, as he seemingly tries to take in the information on it. As I said, this person could not blend in if they tried.
That's fair. And I'm sure, even to Thomas's middle school ass, he's just, pointing like he's a Bailey school kid who found a queer person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the real question is kind of is he saying anything? Is he mumbling anything? Do they appear to have a partner? Is there anything on the phone? I guess I want more kind of information about what is their whole deal.
So, as you are scouting this person out, they seem so drawn in and focused on their phone, and they're like constantly talking very quietly to themselves, which is actually strange because it's not quiet like a whisper or a mumble. It's just this person seems to have a very quiet tone of voice, as they're kind of flickering through their phone and in very clear writing. Like, it's almost as if their eyesight isn't particularly great either, because they've had to turn all the settings up on their phone, as if they're like an almost entirely blind elderly person. So there's only really like 4 or 5 words on the screen at a time. As he seems to mumble, not as I said again, not mumble, just very quietly. Oh, yeah. So the pre-registration. Oh, is taking place at the warehouse. Oh, good, 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 good. Do you think that is good, Niklaus? Oh yeah, da. Good, good. I'm very excited. Are you excited, Niklaus? Oh da. But there's no sign of who he is talking to. But he is talking as if there is another person there.
I think that's. I'm wondering if I can get like. Okay, I know he has a camera on his phone, but I'm wondering if he can kind of stealth take a picture and saying this guy is saying that registration's at a warehouse.
Yeah.
Also is talking to someone named Niklaus.
Niklaus.
Niklaus. I think again, Thomas's highest trait is logic. I think he can probably deduce that like this is probably their spirit partner.
Either a spirit partner or their imaginary friend, or maybe this person refers to themselves in the third person. You could logic out other options, but if we're going to apply like the most straightforward, it's like probably this person's spirit.
It's likely their spirit partner. I feel he's confident enough to say that.
Yeah. That would be the logical assumption. Yes.
And as Greg gets the text, he's like Santa Claus? Just wrong.
I hope
think
not.
It's like a Europe thing, but I don't know the languages over there. It's all very foreign to me. Like they all look sorry. They all look the same.
I don't know. I can't tell the difference between these European foreigners. They're all very similar.
You can't just ask someone why they're white.
Oh my god, Eric, you can't just ask someone why they're white. That guy looks like he could fit like between a electrified fence.
Yeah.
Like a ranch barrier fence. Super easy.
Oh my god.
Look,
out of character, getting big Faust the Eighth vibes.
I mean, that wasn't my intention, but it is there.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: if you saw this guy in the woods, you'd be fairly certain Slender Man is real. You go, no.
Horrifying.
Yeah. It's like if Slender Man found a lumberjack's shirt and put it on. That's what this guy looks like.
Well, I guess like having positively ID'd a shaman, if not multiple, I can pass that on to the group, to someone better suited to making contact.
So
and try to check out the warehouse.
Yeah. So I suppose the choice here is, as a group, does everyone want to go straight to warehouse and go, yeah, pre-registration, let's go? Or would anyone like to try and actively engage with at least this one guy who, like, okay, we know for sure we wanna like pre-scout out Slender person? Or are we too creeped out by this person's existence and go, no, well, let's move?
Just because they're creepy doesn't mean they're not nice people.
Exactly.
In which Greg will, after being summoned to Mall, will go up and be like, just look up. Hello?
He lifts his phone above his head and looks down at you. His neck and back curling to like get down to almost at your level. It's quite grotesque how this person's body seemingly moves. Goes, oh, guten Tag. Can I be helping you today?
Hi. I'm Greg Price. I'm a local. I also, one of my friends said you said something about pre-registration. I'm assuming you saw, like, the special video.
Oh, you have friends keeping eyes on me. Oh, naughty, no, 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 no.
Well, not like specifically tracking you. We saw the video and we were curious if like other people did, and we're locals, and we like it's a small town, so someone saw you and heard you talk about the pre-reg, and yeah.
Oh, I see, I see. Okay, yeah. Yes. I am, as you would say, here interested in the registration. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If you had seen in the video, I'm guessing you too are what? Are you, little boy?
Little boy, Greg's like almost 6 foot, like with room to grow.
Giant boy.
Yeah. Like we don't know a whole lot. We were wondering kind of what your thoughts were about like what Mr. Husk is doing.
Oh, little boy has thoughts about what it's very,
I don't know
very.
if anyone's ever accused me of having thoughts about things before.
Oh, no, no. Having thoughts is good thing, yeah? You explore them. But, yeah. I saw a video and I made my way here. And, it's a good way to make money. So
Yeah.
I'm here for money. Because,
Okay. Money's good.
I'm assuming that you are not worker. You know have to work long days and hours for things like groceries and taxes and such.
I don't know about taxes, but
No, but is not the easiest thing in the world for Shaman to have full-time employment. So steady paycheck is good plan. Normally,
okay.
I'd only be getting work for about 6 weeks a year. So his problem, seasonal work is not seasonal gig work is not long-term sustainability.
Yeah, I mean, during some of the non-tourist months, some people don't have a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So full paycheck with benefits in this economy be foolish to not investigate.
I guess. And I'm sorry, what's your name?
Name?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Heinrich.
Hi, Heinrich. Cool. Well, I guess we'll see you around. And,
Yeah.
yeah. And, like, yeah.
Oh,
Cool. Huh?
small itty bitty tip for you and friends.
Okay.
If there's any kind of physical auditions, if you
Okay.
have to come up against me,
Okay.
I would recommend withdrawing, because I am kind person, I am nice person. I need paycheck and will not play nice with children.
Okay.
This guy really said fuck them kids, huh?
This person
I
said,
mean-
look, you're a kid, I will kick you in the teeth for a paycheck.
I mean, okay. Appreciate the warning.
Stop.
We all punched a bear, so I feel like we kind of know what's going on.
Who hasn't punched bear?
I mean, I guess it's fair. I don't really know how other training, initiation stuff goes. Okay. Well, I'll let people know that you're serious about the audition, maybe. Okay. And then this is the point where Greg realizes he's been talking to a person for like 8 minutes, and he's just like, cool. I'm gonna go. Nice to meet you, Heinrich.
Auf Wiedersehen, Greg. Oh,
Welcome to Bear Ridge.
und you're on the list.
Greg just like watches him like leave or like looks over his shoulder as he walks away, just like
This entire time he's been talking with his phone lifted up above his head, his curled down, he lifts his other hand. He doesn't wave, he does that awful creepy finger thing. Auf Wiedersehen, Greg. Have a good
Bye.
day.
Greg just like texts the group. He's saying I'm on a list now? Also, his name's Heinrich. He's here for money. And apparently he doesn't think we could take him in a fight.
What makes him so sure? We've never seen us fight before.
I feel like if Thomas doesn't text this, but he is very much reading this, going, I could take him in a fight.
I told him we all punched a bear once and he was unimpressed. Or what was her name? Like Viola?
The bear, Ursula.
Yeah. Ursula, that girl was. Poor Ursula. She's a good girl. She's a good egg. Alright. Now that Greg has thoroughly creeped himself out
I think
and is now socially exhausted.
Kunal is just going to text like, well, it's just like we thought. There's going to be people in it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, money is a very good motivator.
It is.
I mean, the conversation with Heinrich is, of course, there's the important information. The warehouse, pre-registration, Heinrich is a person very interested in money. Don't know what the heck he does for a job, but if he only works for 6 weeks of the year, but somehow has enough finances to live and survive. And also, he seemingly got here the same day the video came out, so
Yeah.
don't
yeah,
know what...
I think it's pretty. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that he can be what's helpfully titled independently wealthy.
Maybe.
Although
Potentially.
obviously not wealthy enough that he isn't interested in the money. There's
Yes.
there's some stuff there. Like whether you want to call it subtext or not, is there to chew on. But it is an interesting little thing to acknowledge that, well, as you said, a lot of shamans don't have full-time employment. Because, I can't imagine it's super fulfilling to go and work a 9 to 5 when you can talk to ghosts. And
That makes sense.
make giant swords out of ghost energy.
Yes.
So it's safe to say that if Heinrich is the bar on which to measure on, shamans are going to be a very eclectic group of people.
Yeah.
And I need to go and design a bunch more random NPCs.
Yeah.
So, with that, is now the group reconvening, going, alright, let's go check out this registration office at the warehouse and whatever's going on.
I think that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. Obviously, Greg knows exactly where a lot of these new buildings have been put down and where warehouses have been built, so it's very easy. You know where to go. As you get there, Greg will notice, and I don't know if he'll share it per se, but there is more activity. There are more people, and not just the occasional standout individuals. Like, there's a lot of people in what appears to be works clothes, so lots of high-vis vests, lots of hard hats, lots of clipboards, and people here to do jobs, along with trucks and deliveries, and there's clearly a lot of hustle and bustle and stuff getting set up. As you approach the warehouse, there will be a man in a generic black suit with a small earpiece in very standard security looking setup, making it abundantly clear he has a firearm, because that's what I presume security people in America do.
Kinda.
Kind of. You know what? High level private security, probably.
Yeah. And so as the 4 children approach this man, he'll push his sunglasses down ever so slightly and look at you. Go, you all here for the registration? Uh-huh. Y'all's names on the list, or you independents?
Wait, this is the second time I heard about a list. What's this list?
Who talked to you about what?
I don't know. Another guy said I'm on the list now.
What?
Yeah,
Well,
that's a very good point. This guy was looking on his phone the other time. Is there a website with registration info?
I mean, I probably should have inquired before. Sorry, I've been on autopilot for a little while. I just assumed that anybody walking on up here would know what's going on. I probably should have inquired. You are aware of what's going on here, right? Do I have to talk secretive or in roundabout metaphors, or does y'all know we're here recruiting people with special skills?
Like tap dancing, or like knowing how to like stuff 5 tomatoes in their mouth?
Like
Having
ghost
magic
shit.
friends.
Oh,
I think it's
yeah.
yes.
Because, look, it's been a long day. I've had to, vet and I have to turn away a couple of people because, you know, some of these people ain't got the slightest gosh darn clue. But I don't know why I didn't ask more questions of a group of, what, 12-year-olds?
I'm 15.
Whatever, kid. Anyhow, y'all's here for the ghost shit, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, unless you happen to be incredibly prolific and the boss personally contacted y'all's, you're probably not on the list. Whoever's talking to you about a list either is talking about a separate list or I don't know. Could be something entirely unrelated. Look, a lot of these people they have gimmicks. You know, I don't know what y'all's is up to. I got the bare bones basics. You hear? And so
Beep.
yeah. I've been seeing people coming in here dressed as, you know, 15th century French royalty. Don't know why, but they is. So it's safe to say a lot of these folks here got some freaky gimmicks, in which, you know, it's like wrestling. Y'all watch professional wrestling, right? Some of the greatest entertainment in the world. Some of them weirdos got weird gimmicks, right? So I assume Big Boss is wanting these fellas to do the same. Anyway, I don't got rules for kids, so the fact y'all's had the gumption to just show on up. You know what? Fuck it. I'll allow it. Wait.
Hey,
Yeah, I realized children. Pretend I didn't say that word. Pretend I said stuff it like a turkey.
That doesn't make sense.
It does not. But a lot of things we say don't make sense because we gotta dress it up with niceties so not as to affect the sensibilities of little kids. And or people with particular sensitivities. You know, I took a sensitivity training course. I don't know what language is and is not appropriate for the workplace.
So, I still have the question of, was there like a website registration that had the list or
No.
something? No.
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
Certain prolific individuals, Boss Man would have found ways of contacting. He's been working on this for years, you know, and making contacts, acquiring information. So, use certain select people, he'll send private emails to. It's why the video was made to kind of reach everyone else. Like, there's the specials, you know, people who's gonna come in and, you know, be made like grand champion, and I don't know if we're doing belts or if that is too cheesy. I don't know the basic. Look, I'm here to shoo away miscreants and keep away the people who are clearly too dangerous. So,
Well, I think Thomas is going to be like, well, I'm not gonna ask any of you to enter in this if you don't want to, but I'm definitely entering.
I
well,
think it's probably the best way to know things.
well, as I said, I don't got special rules for kids, but what I do have on these pre-registration forms. Don't ask me why it's called pre-registration. It's almost like this was poorly planned out.
He was working on this for years, though, wasn't he?
Well, just because I've been working on it for years don't mean it was planned out good.
I know. That was a moral judgment.
Anyhow,
What?
if y'all just look, I'll let y'all inside. You can go fill out these forms, and you can hand them on in when it's your turn. Let me just give you some numbers. Okay. what selection of 4 numbers are you being given?
Huh?
You're gonna get given some numbers, and I don't. You'd think,
8679.
yeah, you'd think they'd be in order, but the numbers are seemingly random. As you are handed this small piece of, this is not a piece of paper; it's like a badge. As you hold it, a number materializes on it.
Uh-huh.
What number materializes on your badge?
8679.
8679. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
17.
17. I mean, someone note these down. It's not super important, but it's worthwhile knowing what they are. Kunal, what number is on your badge?
2.
2. And Sable?
98.
98. There you go. Yep. All these numbers, they just kind of boom onto the badge, and you're given this form, and you can go inside the warehouse. Inside the warehouse, a couple dozen of people, some of which are hard to pinpoint the specifics of, some of which are immediately stand out. It's very much cliche anime group shot where it's meant to look like everyone's a little weird, but in that some people don't really look very weird at all.
Yeah, this is the beginning of the Hunter exams.
I wasn't intending for that, but I have accidentally made the Hunter exams, yes.
Yeah.
Well, the Hunter exams, or the Genkai tournament, or, the Budokai Tenkaichi, whatever you want to call it, it's very
Yeah.
that.
License exam.
The
Yeah.
license, yeah. It is very that.
This is the tuning exams. Just pick one.
Yeah. This is the tournament arc.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, on your registration form, it's got all the basics. It's got, date of birth, name. There's a fairly vague one where it says spirit classification, which you have a vague understanding of spirit classifications, but you've never really had to note too much about it. So you can kind of just fill it in however you wish. There's one that says alias, because you might want a performing name, and then there's an area that just says gimmick, and then
Ooh.
at the very bottom there's like a small box, and when you go to interact with it kind of lights up, and it's like a small LCD touchscreen, and it's basically like a create a character customization with not the greatest like VR technology type setup, but essentially you can design an entire custom character. It explains that to protect the identities of the people, because obviously a lot of shamans, they do a lot of different jobs, and some of them can't really just slap their face out on television. Despite the fights being actual shaman fights, the use of holographic projections, AR, and other technologies will be utilized, one, to allow non-shaman audience members to see what is going on, and two, to create entire holographic projections of the fighters themselves over the top, which is also why there is no laws on age, because they will just make you look like an adult. Take that, child labor laws. It doesn't count if they're legally registered as an adult.
I feel like that's not how
I think it's fraud.
It most certainly is.
Oh, that's one
Okay.
of our ideas down the toilet. That's okay.
Well, I think Greg would go for just something really basic. He probably like Superboy's like jeans and a black t-shirt look, basically. But more just like jeans and I don't know, is there probably like a t-shirt with like the logo on it
I mean, yeah, you can
as an option?
you can design a logo if you so wish, or there will be a few custom ones. The fact you're going for Hetrified Superboy, who we all acknowledge was better before and after the hetrification.
Indeed.
I just love gay Superboy. His character design is fantastic.
Kong L with the leather jacket and earrings is the best.
So good. It's such a
amazing.
good look.
Mm-hmm.
I love that jacket.
It's a good look. But yeah, so yes, like cowboy boots, he'd be like, yes, cowboy boots, hell yeah. Boop. Scuffed up jeans and just like a gray t-shirt.
Okay.
And a cowboy hat. And because he's not a cowboy hat, but like his cap that he always wears. He's like, yeah, my cap.
Okay. And then the logo on the t-shirt, you can either quickly design your own, or you can pick from a generic set of them. So, there'll be one which will just have like Husk Industries, or you'll see all the different trial names for what this sports entertainment is going to be called. So you'll see Mortal Kombat with a C, you'll see Battle Bites, you'll see Virtua Fighter. So there's all these different possible selections. For some reason, there's I'm trying to think. What's like a very like a semi-obscure soft drink that would like haphazardly sponsor this?
Like Fanta might do it. It's not obscure, but
I feel like it has to be like some C-tier energy drink brand that is trying to push like some gamer fuel stuff.
Yes. Jolt energy drinks or something. I'm sorry, that's a real energy drink. I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
It is.
I mean, it probably is. I mean, okay, so my juvenile, never growing up brain was like, so like Bang energy drinks, or
that's real.
I mean, it is real. But there's an even better energy drink, and I despise that I know it exists. And I'm gonna have to say it out loud because it is. I don't know if it ever made it over to America. It was a very weird brand. There was an energy drink, at least available over here, called Pussy.
I've heard of it.
I haven't. I was.
Yeah, there was no way for me to prepare you for what I was going to call it. For what I was going to say, like, yeah, no, that is a real energy drink that exists.
Yeah, no, it did not. It did not.
Seeing Netta's face, and you go like, I can't. I no.
Gotta have some pussy.
Yeah.
Orbits is trying to make a comeback.
Oh my god! Like RC Cola there.
No, I just might be a simple RC Cola.
No, I think Greg is just not going to know that plastering Husk's name on his chest is probably not like a cool thing to do. So be like, sure, and just do Husk Industries on the shirt.
Oh no!
Like,
Greg is
accidentally
lame.
but Greg isn't super creative, so he's like, sure, that one.
See, now I'm trying to figure out if Greg is trying to, well, obviously not trying to, but I don't know if Greg's going to get billed as like the ultimate corporate shill baby face or
Exactly.
the
Like,
ultimate corporate shill heel.
right. Greg's like, oh no. But like, if that happened, Greg would be like, wait, but why? I don't get it. Like, why? No, but
I'm so hoping Kunal catches this.
Right.
hey,
Catches.
do you think this is a good costume? Just basic shirt, Husk Industries, like the cap he's currently wearing, boots and like jeans. What do you guys think?
I think you need to put the boot in your mouth to complete the look.
What do you mean?
What kind of bootlicking nonsense is this?
Oh,
Oh, Greg!
okay, let me fix the shirt.
Hold
He said
on.
he's go-
I
Okay.
think Kunal's just like, I might have something in here.
Oh,
Pulls out like a really poorly done attempt at tie-dye shirt. It clear like the color probably mixed poorly and it looks just like a really bad mess of colors instead of like a design. I figured I needed to branch out from spray painting, but it looked kind of bad. I was gonna throw it in like an incinerator. I was probably gonna tell Kier to burn it to test their new firepower, but
yeah. Well, I mean, it is still just on this tablet thing, so I can't just like change it.
wait,
I'm
what?
just gonna make it a normal gray shirt.
Oh right.
Yeah, Greg is showing you the outfit he's designing on his.
Oh right. No,
sheet.
this is on the app, not on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Come on.
Okay.
He kind of shows. Oh right. This is the hero. The not the character creator. He shows off his, and it's like there's all. Yeah, I know. Only the Husk Industry stuff have all the cool color options, but I also discovered if you hit this gear, it looks like it's a menu that wasn't supposed to be meant for us, but you can kind of exploit it to make like, and he shows off like this like think like NASCAR driver jacket full of, but instead of corporate patches, it's full of like clip art patches.
Or did you find where you
Amazing.
could import your own images and you just filled it with
Yeah.
memes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I'm sure he'll love that.
Cool.
Except it's all like memes about making a union.
Oh, okay.
That's amazing.
So you filled it with meme images of jorts.
Yes.
Greg, once it's pointed out that Greg looks like a bootlicker, he'll just do a standard, this gray shirt. He's like, okay.
Hold
Oh,
on.
no.
No. Hold on.
Oh,
Greg,
Yeah.
he pulls the tablet aside and is just like now messing with Greg's shirt to export. And it's just like, all right, Greg, what are you into? Accidentally,
the ranch.
the ranch?
Oh, yeah. I
Gets-
guess like taking care of people. TikTok kind of fun.
Oh, you meant ranch like the farm.
Yeah.
Delete like a legalize it shirt that has a ranch bottle.
I mean, Greg could make that his character be the ranch guy.
Yeah.
What? Character? What am I acting?
I
What's
mean,
happening?
we get to pose as adults.
Oh.
We can make up we can make up a guy. Like quite literally just press a couple buttons and now Greg looks like a trucker.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know why Elmer didn't delete a lot of these buttons, but like like I could literally just get him into copyright trouble right now, and presses a few buttons on his, and it's just all sorts of anime decals. Like, I'm pretty sure this would have to get blurred on TV if I put it on. I've got Nekoto, Tide, Lizard Ball Z.
Uh-huh. There's a Signy. That doesn't quite work. I was doing. Yes, exactly. So Greg's gonna take it back and be like, okay.
Yeah, just what do you want you to be?
The final design is gonna be almost exactly the same thing, except the cap is going to be like a really fancy looking cowboy hat, and he's going to have like a lasso on his hip, like still boots, still jeans, still t-shirt, but now like a fancy cowboy hat and a lasso. It's like, yeah.
You know what? This is as close to adventurous as we'll get with you, isn't it?
Look, I respect it.
It's a cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take it. We'll take it. You know what? At least good decor.
Yeah.
+1 bond.
Okay, so Kunal, what have you designed yours to? What's your final decision on your image?
Kunal goes like Mad Max biker, just like gives himself like maxes all the muscle settings on his to make like a big, like a muscular dude with like jacket open, but with maximum spike settings. It's just like, how does this guy walk and not stab himself? Like spiked bracelets that are excessively spiked. Boots with a front spike. He's just like, oh wow, I could put. It's like, and then like a motorcycle beer helmet for some reason.
Oh my gosh! You know who you basically designed? You've basically designed Big Bill from Shaman King.
Oh no, I forgot about Big Bill. No, wait, no. Oh no, I have designed Bill Burton. Okay, except instead of football player themed, he's dressing like motorcycle punk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And is like, and then just completes the look with, just puts. Kunal at some point found out that you could just the tablets had MS Paint on them. And just quickly spray painted designs on the jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, probably, like, in his eyes look bad, but to, like, anyone else, it's like, wait, you made that in a couple seconds?
On Microsoft Paint.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Gee.
I dig that. Sable and Thomas, what kind of characters are you designing?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Because Big Sable has like a very clear idea, but she's like ripping something from whatever school books and like putting it on the touchscreen to trace over it. It's like, and has been spending all of this deliberating time just like intensely focused. And then when she's done, there's just like a 13-year-old's first, like, artist's first drawing, which is like slightly anime but still very anatomically sound knight in bright like white shining armor on top of a very large horse. But the horse is not spectacular. It is just...
Just to clarify for my mind, when you say anime-esque knight in armor, are you meaning say something akin to like Revolutionary Girl Utina, or more Griffith
Yes!
from Berserk?
No. Definitely. Great question.
I love how your skill was that. My skill was Utena or like Knights of the Zodiac.
Well, I'm sorry. I hear like white shining armor, and my mind goes to the best
You're so-
twin.
You're so right. I wish you did. I wish that was not the only guy. That's not true. He's just
The only
Sable would
twink,
hate Griffith. Yeah.
Look,
The only twink.
the only twink who gets screen time in Berserk.
look.
So true. They really
Berserk-
hate twinks in that show.
Berserk is, it is dark. It is brutal. It is way too much in way too many ways. Like I could not legitimately recommend it because of how needlessly dark it is. But if you are in that mindset and want to engage in that, fuck me, is it good? Like, I can't ever recommend it to anybody
Yeah,
because it is
like
It's
they
good.
would
You're
get
just
to,
gonna have to believe me.
they would get to like Griffith. They would just get to like Griffith doing horrific things. I'd be like, what the fuck? I was gonna say they would get to Troll Village. I'm like, no, it gets bad before that.
it is
Right.
bad literally from the get-go. Like if you are in a stable enough mental state to know you are actively engaging in something that is dark for the sake of darkness and brutality, and you know you don't have specific trigger warnings and all of that, it's like, what is there is a horrifyingly good account of the brutality of mankind.
If there are any audience in their formative stages, do not read Berserk right now.
No.
That's a great idea.
But yeah, Griffith is also, look, he's problematic.
That's a lot.
That's a light way of putting it.
Okay, but
yeah, sure.
you know, counterpoint.
Worth canceling? Me.
Man's
Who's to say?
Little counterpoint.
like-
Getting on Twitter to cancel.
man's ye old Lockheed Martin.
Look, he's a little rough around the edge. But he's hot. You cannot deny Griffith isn't hot. A horrible,
this is-
horrible person in every way, shape, and form.
This is where I'm grateful I'm not into men.
He is a very pretty man, but
I mean, I am, but different kinds of men.
look,
Like I feel like if Griffith existed in real life, I would definitely have that harsh judgment of, oh, you rely on bite being the default, don't you?
I'm just like this. I'd be like, this twink is going to insult me into crying out as because I passed by an S&M.
This
Yup.
tweet is going to call me a slur in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
That's not the worst thing he'll do, but he will
That's
do
not
it.
the worst thing he'll do. He'll do it.
The worst part is Griffith would make you think he is on your side whilst calling you all the slurs.
Yeah.
And then somehow you go, I don't.
Griffith
Wow,
would,
you're so
no,
right,
Griffith would,
Bestie.
Griffith would call you a slur and gaslight you into thinking cracker is a slur. And this is how we get banned from Twitch.
He'd probably make you think that like cis is a slur.
Oh my god.
Like, how dare you?
Look, Griffith will have these hot garbage takes, but deliver them in such a manner where you go, "Wait, what? No, that can't be." But the way you presented it, I can't argue. I know you're wrong, but I
Wait,
can't
no,
tell
hold
you
on.
why.
Hold on, I think I figured out the Griffith and real. Griffith would make himself a prominent voice on like trans Twitter, have the most dog shit takes, and then at some point reveal he was cis and was doing a social experiment.
Oh no.
And would somehow convince us he's the good guy. Or gaslight us into thinking he's the good guy.
I don't like this. I don't like this hypothetical.
It's awful. It's awful.
I'm hitting back right now.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what takes us back.
That's Griffin. And we know it.
So anyhow, yes, this is my personal anime scale of armor from Utena to Griffin.
Okay.
What is Utena? What is
Revolutionary Girl Utena,
Yeah.
which an 80s anime that was about
Trans lesbians.
trans lesbians that in a school that occasionally they sword fight a lot.
Yeah.
amazing?
It is surprisingly, like for 80s anime, very surprisingly like exploratory.
It's by Kinohiko Ikuhara, who has made a entire career of doing just very queer anime. Started on Sailor Moon R, the movie, the one about the gay flowers on the moon, and then went into Utena, and then it just didn't stop. Like they did Penguin Drum, I believe. They also did Yurikuma Arashi. They did Shara Zanmai. Like they do a lot of like weirdly avant-garde at times queer anime.
Basically, it is everything Evangelion wishes it was, and better.
I believe they might have also worked on Evangelion.
Yeah,
Like-
the few actually good bits of Evangelion that still hold up is probably because of them.
Yeah, like I have an appreciation for Evangelion, but there are a lot of moments where you're like,
They
"Oh,
did
this
not
is
work on Evangelion. That is my.
yeah." But like, there are moments in Evangelion where it's like, men wrote this.
And
So-
this is me knowing.
So
Yeah.
Sable's armor, it kind of looks like what I posted on the Discord ish, or is it more like the actual armor?
Yes, there's a metal skirt.
Okay.
Very
Yeah,
Rose
nice.
of Versailles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
I was also just going to very quickly apologize. We've just railroaded over Neda trying to describe this because we've
I'm
had
so-
to talk about problematic twink horrible man for too long. Sorry.
I'm
There
sorry.
has to be one problematic twig. It's okay.
That's not his costume. Our problematic twin.
What kind of character would that be in a fighting ring? No, there's like she's like stuck on the part where they even allowed a whole horse that she hand drew, and is now like also showing it to Greg. He's like, "How's this look?"
Oh wow, they're pretty good.
Yeah, I based it off one of my OCs. Has a wistful look on her face, back from my warrior horse forum days.
God has no idea what that means. He's like, oh wow, that's cool.
Warrior Horse was totally an in-universe anime and manga.
Oh yeah, the art style on that slaps. I've been
Good job.
I've been studying it to like learn how to graffiti horses better.
Oh my god, I didn't think I've never seen horse graffiti before.
That's why I was like, I was gonna do like a battleground, but because another spirit was like, hey, can you just draw a mural facing this really awful mansion of a certain battleground? Yeah, I know I should be more careful about taking requests from dead ghosts or ghost spirits of dead guys, but they're really cool paint props. I'm sorry. And the following has been incredible when I've been making these.
Mm.
I also feel that Battle Horse, the subtitle, the catchphrase is "Love is a battlefield." That is like the main character's war cry.
It's a battlefield. Amazing.
So, but yeah.
And then the OVA is like Stampede of Justice, or just something ridiculous.
hmm It's really good. Like
Oh God.
it's one of those shows that they weren't entirely sure how to market it, so they tried to go, yeah, kids show, right? And it turns out actually no, it's pretty serious. There's lots of queer themes, and then there's really tragic sequences dealing with mortality and loss. We're like, oops, we probably should have checked out what this was about before we started airing it on Saturday mornings.
Two of the horses that were labeled as cousins in the 7 Kids dub were unusually close for siblings.
I'm gonna have to put a line on that one, just for me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Totally
you.
cool. So you've got this really awesome design. You've got the horse. Is there anything else you want to include on that?
Probably. I don't know what those like lance things are called.
A lance?
Yeah, I guess it is just like a jousting lance.
Oh yeah. They're,
right
they're,
across
they're
it.
lances.
Yeah, they're just lances. She'll have that right across the side of the horse. It's comically large though. That's it.
It has to be comically large. How else is it
Yeah.
gonna have really cool special effects?
Just like I'm an adult. Can't you tell by my giant lance?
I have a permit that says I do what I want. It's just words.
Okay, and then finally we have Thomas. Thomas, what is your character design?
I feel like Thomas, he's gonna still keep his battle jacket. He's gonna resize it for the big, for it to be kind of the size it should be on an adult. I think he is going to have. I think kind of the look he's going for here is somewhere between, biker and like traditional wear for war dance.
Okay.
So I want him. I think he's going to give his sort of avatar like the red the red kind of bear grease paint over the eyes, and I think he's gonna have like the flowy kind of poet shirt with the ruffles and stuff underneath the battle jacket. But he's gonna and like the gorget and everything, and he's gonna have he's probably like, because like he's still a kid, but I know what but he knows what he's into, so he's probably gonna like try to add like traditional tattoos and stuff, because he's like, yeah, tattoos, yeah. but it's a very informed costume, I think.
Yeah. That's really cool. I really dig that. In fact, I dig all of this. This is just fun.
So I apologize. I totally forgot an important thing that Greg would do. Is he would have like a handkerchief in his pocket that sticks out that looks like his grandma's quilt. And he would give himself like one of those beards that kind of sticks to the face, but it's still very curly and is like out here. Just it should be hanging down, but it's a fake beard thing, so it's just like
so like mustache handlebarring up and beard going out, or
no, it makes like a perfect like curl. Like
okay, yeah.
you can do it in real life, and I've done it once, but it took a good amount of beard oil and like really like brushing it like up around itself. So it required very curly hair. But like So if he grabs, if it were real and he grabbed and he stretched it, it might be like yay long,
Mhm.
but it's very curly, and so it hugs around the cheeks and the chin
It's very important stuff,
because
yeah.
Greg wants a beard because he thinks they're cool.
Beards are cool.
Yeah.
I don't say that because I have no idea what my face looks like without one anymore.
Yeah.
But there is skin under here. I am aware it exists. I just haven't seen it in 10 years.
Yeah, I don't. I'm afraid to find out. I haven't oiled my beard in a while.
I get to do that too. Anyways.
I think like the costume goes on though. He's got like
I
the
apologize.
kind of cloth belt, and he's got the bracers and or the bracelets and everything, and just I think I'm debating whether or not he has the kind of like the weapons on the side, but I think not. I think if it's if anything, he's got kind of the hatchet and the war club kind of on the back, like a Rogers kind of bones,
That's really cool.
or like a motorcycle club patch.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I can see that in my mind. That's a really cool design. I like all of these designs. They're very they are somehow very anime and very professional wrestler at the same time, which I think is really cool. So these are all done. Someone will come and collect your forms, and that'll all be taken in. And as a group, you are sectioned off into small groups between 6 and 10. Your group specifically has 8 people in. There is the 4 of you. You would recognize Heinrich and 3 other people whom I have not yet designed. So currently they're silhouetted.
Mhm.
There's vague silhouettes of people as you are taken through into separate areas. So the warehouse you're in, there's doorways that lead off into different areas. And you are walked through into a large, open, empty-looking room. And a large screen. Well, it's not a screen; it's a projection onto the wall. Comes up where Elmer Husk is sat on a chair, thinking he's much more important than he actually is. And he begins talking as, or all right there, hello. So what's going on here is there's actually quite a few too many applicants. I mean, obviously we'll have a larger roster and we'll do lots of different things as we go along. But to begin with, we want quite a small roster to try and get, fans invested and so we can merchandise easier. You sell a lot more of a limited run of action figures and promotional materials than if you have like an entire backlog. So what we're doing is we're going to try and trim these 50 applicants down to about like 20. So we're just halving, which is why you're all put in these little groups, assigned at random, basically. And yeah, last 4 people standing. You're through into the interviews. So whatever, kick the shit out of each other, I guess. And with that, it's a very unceremonious, as if someone just clicked the off button on a TV. The projection goes down, and the entire room feels like it shakes a little. As at that moment, small areas from the walls and the ceiling and the floor begin to move and press out, creating the effect of like a maze-esque environment. And then a flickering of lights as a holographic projection is thrown over the battlefield, and it seems to create a woodland forest environment. And
Are we in our costumes?
yes, you have been projected to have your costumes on and be the right state, size, shape, all of that. And immediately, Heinrich and the other three, they just like leap into action. They disappear off, leaving the four of you stood on the outskirts of this woodland, where we will begin the next session. Does anyone have a quippy thing to end the episode, like where the episode of the anime or the final panel of the manga would end?
Well, to tie it back to the beginning, I think Kunal would go, well, guys, no more horsing around.
What do you mean? I have my horse right here.
Because
And-
like the super small, like chippy sable. What do you mean? The horses are here.
Horses, 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 horses.
Look, I imagine kick the shit out of each other is code for fighting time. So
Right. Alright,
it's all four come out of this winning.
right. Only 4 left. Left standing. Whatever. Yeah.
And it's got to be us four.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And the final shot of the episode is it the four of you stood there, or is it of you walking into the woodlands? Is it
Walking in, the to be continued arrow comes up.
Yeah. basically?
Yeah.
Is it an action pose, or is it a stance? Though we got this.
I think at least in my head, it's like the beginning of the momentum to walk forward.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Like we're all kind of like in a group and we're all like turning or something to like start.
Yeah.
I really dig that. That's really cool. So we are going to wrap up the session here for tonight. Theoretically, we should be back in 2 weeks on whatever date that would be.
That would be the
11th, according to if I can count.
Yes.
We established earlier I'm gay. Sometimes I don't do math good.
Yeah.
I used to be very good at it, and then I stopped being.
See, I thought I traded my basic math skills for calculus, and now I'm slowly regaining basic math and forgetting calculus again.
I don't know why I decided to be a game designer. I'm terrible at math.
But for the most part, I'm really fine with numbers. For some reason, if you tell me to figure out time zones, I apparently forget how to count.
Well, that's the one I can do.
That's what I have to like look it up every time.
So, yes, we'll be wrapping up. We should be back on the 11th unless something comes up. But hey, stuff happens. It's fine. So thank you everyone for tuning in. This will be edited and uploaded in the next day or two. So if you missed it, you can catch it over there. Or if you're catching us on YouTube, hey, try and catch it live sometime. It'll be really cool. The links will be in the comments. Well, in the description down below. Because, well, they're always there. I have been, and will continue to be the Bardic Knock. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, all as the Bardic Knock. JT, who are you?
I am JT. I am on Twitter at Brownest Nerd. I'm on other socials as Epic Impulse. I think there's a dash between Epic and Impulse on Tumblr. Either way, I've played Kunal and the prankster Kier. We'll see how giant punk biker covered in spikes works as the costume next session. And now over to Jamie.
We got the point in the right direction. Let's go.
Astonishing. Yes, hi, I'm Jamie. I've been playing Greg Price, as well as the Fairy Fire Butterfly Allin. And hopefully, I don't know, Greg's gonna come up with a really shitty name like the Lawman or something for his character, but I'm sure that will go well. And yeah, I'm JKelsey6892 on Twitter and other places, I think. Doesn't super matter. And yeah, so I'm gonna just toss the ball.
The Honey.
Hey, I've been Sahoni. You can find me on Twitter at Sahoni_stuff. That's SAHONI_stuff, where I not only do radio stuff on things like Barking Points Memo, I also do game design, and you can find my games at bramblewolfgames.itch.io. That's BRAMBLE wolfgames.itch.io. You can find my best-selling game Exceptionals there, which is a game inspired by X-Men about the communities and spaces that marginalized folks make for ourselves, as well as the different metaphors we experience the mutant metaphor through, or the different lenses we do. Plus, it's just a fun superhero game too. These things don't have to be at opposition to one another. You can have fun superhero adventures and, have some deep feelings. But you can also follow me in other places. You can find all of those penned on my Twitter if you don't want to dig too hard. It's right under my shop. Which, you can find my Tumblr, my Patreon, my Ko-fi, my Fur Affinity.
The most important one.
The deep cuts.
Yeah, it's just, like, I'm trying to diversify. Twitter's falling apart. It was that or sea captains only.
No Christian mingle.
Yeah. I don't know if they would accept me on there. I think sea captains only is a lot more welcoming.
Oh dear. We've had a lot of terrible jokes. Very specific.
Horses.
Very
Yeah.
specific
Horses,
terrible
horses,
jokes.
horses.
Well, I'm gonna pass it on because my dog is yelling at me.
And finally, the wonderful Netta. Netta, would you like words to say, please? That's not a sentence.
No. It was. I'm just gonna go for my standard now for as using as few as possible. I am Netta. Pronouns are they, them. I played Sable, who is maybe now living out every 11-year-old warrior cat forum user's dream, but she's not specifically not about warrior cats.
Horse.
Exactly, and you can, so you can find me on Twitter at trans_father, and that's it. I will manifest having things, like things to publish later soon. I'm working on it. No,
Nice.
I'll pass it back.
All right, and with that, once again, huge thank you for hanging out to my wonderful, lovely players. Huge thank you to anyone hanging out watching this. And until next time, everybody, stay safe.
Thanks for
Happy-
having us.
Yeah. Good night, guys and peeps and
Alright.
everyone in between.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye.